Hi Aries, my name's Chandler. This is my first Aries video that I've actually done, so those of you who are watching are most likely new to my channel, unless you have a sun, moon, or rising sign in Aries. I guess it could depend, but thank you for watching, first of all, and I hope this resonates with you. If you do don't forget to actually like the video and subscribe. I am a tarot card reader that also does personal readings, so if you're interested in getting a personal reading, you can follow the link in the description box below. We have your cards here. Wow, powerful month, Aries. My goodness gracious. Alright. Clarify the sage. Let's clarify the sage. So, I see a lot of you making some changes. But some of you are stuck. This won't be a bad reading. Okay? I'm not that kind of tarot card reader, first of all. And secondly, you've got some really good energy to work with. I mean, at least, right? You guys have a lot of potential, okay, in the end of the month. In the beginning of the month, it's going to be very self-reflective. But there's going to be some people that really help you out this month, okay? And I'm sensing some of you are involved with a water sign. We have King of Water, and water signs can pertain to Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Wow, and some of you are leaving a relationship, right? Well, some of you are at least considering it, because you've got the Thought card, and that's a reason for being, which means that you've got a decision to make, or you're weighing your options, okay, looking for a new perspective, seeking answers. Let's clarify that Thought card. Queen of Wands. Alright, and you have an endings and closures in the end of the month with this ginormous air energy, which is this new perspective. Everything that you've been wanting, everything you've been asking for finally comes to you, and it's just this moment of acute clarity and keen perspective over the situation. So let's see what that might have to do with the Nine of Air. Endings and closures, coming to full circle, ending a cycle, new beginnings with another person. Okay, it may be another person coming into your life, very watery, or you may be starting a new chapter or a new beginning with a water sign, okay? Alright, before we get started, let's first of all close this window here. And let's get some truth bombs from the angels. You probably could hear the crows outside. There's always so many crows right outside my window. I think they talk about me. They just squawk back and forth. Okay, so truth bombs, angels, hello. I don't see a ton of angelic influence within your reading. They are helping you keep the faith when the beginning of the month is a little rocky. But mostly, you're doing just fine, Aries. You're doing just fine. You don't need to doubt anything. You don't need to be overly self-critical. You're getting everything you want. You're going to get the clarity you need. Your answers are going to be definitely met with some clear solutions to whatever you're wanting to do this month. Any advice from the angels? I love my truth bombs, but sometimes the cards are just, not wanting to come out. So see only love. That's good advice. I think that that's a very soft and tender way for the angels to communicate with you that You're doing just fine, okay? There's not a lot of angelic interference, right? They're not having to redirect you, or they're not asking you to do anything crazy. They're just letting you know that if you can see this situation through the eyes of love, that it'll just be an easier transition for you, right? Because when we see through the eyes of love, we can see a much broader perspective. Our heart, its range that it has is about 12 feet in diameter, where our minds are just a few feet, if that. So it's this magnetic attraction, right? When we see things through our heart, when we actually open our heart to new situations, and are open to receiving, we can just see and receive much more. We have a bigger capacity to receive things. The moon may be having a heavy hand in your month as well, Aries. I believe that there's a half moon in the middle of the month, and maybe a full moon towards the end of the month. I'd have to look over my notes, but I think that there may be one on the 27th. I'm pretty sure that's what I wrote down, this new moon, full moon. So, towards the end of the month, you might have this real big clarity because of this emotional quality the moon has. It seems to align with your cards. So, you will be in a very good place. You will be able to open your heart and see things with love that otherwise may have not felt completely right or sat well with you in the beginning of the month. See only love. Look past the seeming errors, mistakes, and misunderstandings, and see only the love within each person, including yourself. Your resolute focus upon the love that underlies every situation brings about healing in undreamed of ways. So something to be said about maybe not being able to see the outcome of this in the beginning of the month, right? Your faith is really being tested. You do have the faith and the sage card in reverse, so we'll get to that in just a moment. Let's see what the spirit guides have to say here. Sacred knowledge, okay, coming to you. Sacred knowledge, sacred wisdom, consciousness, awareness. It aligns with the card that you are ending the month of June on. Sacred knowledge, okay, this is very creative. This is very open-ended, and it's somewhat emotional. But what this really speaks to is something that is long-lasting. Something is sacred, as ancient wisdom must uphold certain aspects, certain traits in order to be carried down and be consistent and be in line with so many days and ages within the Earth's cycle. It's something that is kind of unwavering that you're tapping into. And I know this is a little esoteric. This card specifically is very esoteric. So don't be surprised if you get this new perspective, this influx in your spiritual sense or side that just better aligns you with what exactly you're supposed to be doing in life. Your life's purpose could have a lot to do with this card in a creative way, in a passionate way. But it might feel a little like you can't see, right, what's really going on behind the scenes. There might be some energies that are far beyond your consciousness or far beyond your ability to see that are working on behind the scenes. Ancient and sacred knowledge is waiting within the heart of the earth, yearning to be discovered. Crystals hold the key. Connect energetically with the earth and her crystal realm. Healing, love, and abundance result. I also have 2 amethysts sitting in front of me. So an amethyst, I think aquamarine, and just an amethyst that I've had for forever. So, these crystals wanted to be in your reading. So maybe if you are drawn to crystals, check out amethyst. You might need that for this very spiritual energy that's coming to you. The sage. Okay, let's get into the reading here. The sage and the devil come up right off the bat. 1st of June, right? And even towards the end of May, you should definitely be feeling this kind of energy. It's prominent, it's cardinal, it's a reason for being, something that is shifting in you dynamically. So the sage, let's get started with that. This is the overall general energy that you should be feeling. The sage is this explorer. He's this seeker of knowledge, of wisdom, and he's kind of considered very esoteric, very kooky, a little out of line, or not really following the beaten path, of course. And this in reverse could symbolize that you're not really feeling that wise, right? You're not really feeling like the sage. You might have a lot of people coming down on you or criticizing you or making you feel as though you're inferior or lacking wisdom or value in what you say. And specifically, the sage isn't a big talker, right? He kind of lives by the truth that he holds. He doesn't really feel the necessity to explain himself very much because he just knows that certain people won't understand. And that's maybe where your guides are coming in saying, watch how much effort you actually put towards like proving your point or, really like going for it with another person, like trying to get them to see where you're coming from because in all honesty, the sage kind of lives a lonely existence, but he's not lonely. He's just alone. So, you might be alone in some of the ideas that you have, but the devil comes up to further clarify that, this is somewhat of an illusion if you're trying to make people understand your perspective. The devil card specifically relates to the certain perspective you hold, what things hold you back, what blockages you have, what illusions you're living. And the sage, being a very wise card typically, is in reverse, meaning that your wisdom is being cut short. You're very focused on the circumstantial side of life. You're very focused on the things that are not long-lasting, are not long-term, are not whole and in unison with the overall loving feeling that we all desire. It's cutting that element of your life short. And it could be very painful. It could actually be shackling you guys in this imminent perpetual suffering. And who wants that, right? That sounds terrible. But we all get in these habits. We all receive the devil card every once in a while. And it's just a very firm reminder from your guides to not give in to the certain patterns or habits that you see on a daily basis. Those are there to elude you from your overall purpose that is much greater and less worth the drama or less worth the chaos or chitter chatter or gossip, right? Lending your things to very feeble-minded ways of being, lending your energy to those things is not going to suit you. And that's going to be really in perspective in the beginning of June. Faith comes up, next, which is another reason for being a lot of cardinal, a lot of major arcana energy, a lot of important energy coming to you in the beginning of June. Typically, this is a very Aries type of card. It can also be very Aquarius with this very mental energy going on, but strong, determined, and in a way, the Faith card can absolutely have this Aries way of going about it, just this very strong warrior, expanded and consistent type of energy. Well, it in reverse can have a somewhat schizophrenic personality to it, which is so what the devil loves to do. The devil, I use loosely, of course, but when we get into this kind of energy, it eludes us from the truth. It's actually the epitome of the untruth. So you may be led astray by certain people. Maybe this sage or the advisor, right, in your life. This very Aquarian type of energy. Again, you guys could be dealing with a water sign. Okay, so the sage isn't necessarily a water sign, but again, someone with a lot of water in their chart who is very interested in otherworldly things. Maybe they have a very eccentric way of going about their life. They are leading you astray, unfortunately, and it's really challenging what you believe, or you're allowing their influence to affect you so much that you're not even sure what to believe anymore. And it's like you're kind of willing your power away to their cause. It's not your cause. The Faith card does have a schizophrenic feeling to it when it's in reverse because, you can't believe what's real. It's like what feels real is not real, and what feels unreal is real, and you're just having a really hard time deciphering what is what. So it's like this cycle that you really don't want to be caught in for too long. But luckily, that's just what I see in the beginning of the month, and I think a lot of this truth is coming up so that you can get out of this cycle, so you can feel more confident, more secure, more abundant, and more independent, more thoughtful, okay? Instead of just maybe relying upon what others say, which is not very Aries to do, but you could be going through something. You could be going through a cycle, or you could be having a lot of things bombard you at once, and it's making a little bit of chaos in your life. What the Faith card is clarified with is the Four of Swords, the Page of Coins, and the Ten of Swords, symbolizing that you need to take some time to really not think, okay? Your thinking has driven you to the ends of your wits, and that's not one of your strong suits, right? When you get in your head, you need to get grounded, you need to get in your body, you need to get out of your mind, even like things like coloring or, yoga can oftentimes just bring our perspective back down to earth. So there's a need definitely for grounding yourself, finding some stability in all of this momentum, all of this chaos, all of this upheaval, so that you can better trust your own instincts, so you can better trust how you feel. Because there's a certain sense that you don't know how you feel. And you might not even be very connected to your feelings, because I see a lot of water coming your way, which is this is needed, right, within your energy. So up until maybe the mid-month, talking about the half moon in the middle of the month with the King of Water and so forth, you're going to be feeling more and more aligned. But the beginning of the month is a little rocky. One of the things that is promising is the Page of Coins, okay? The Page of Coins is this very optimistic, youthful energy coming to you that realigns you with the simple things. She does have one coin. Speaking of origins, speaking of roots, speaking of where you come from, the kind of things that are important to you will be sticking out at you. So pay special attention if children are in your life, getting you grounded back to the basics, back to the important things, laughter, joy, simplicity. That's really what this is about. You're overcomplicating things. The Ten of Swords means that you've been going, trying to maintain this status quo or this belief or this direction, this goal that you want to achieve, Aries, but it just seems as though you're really running thin. You're going to exhaust yourself. This exhaustion comes as a clarity of faith, meaning you just need to give it up. You just need to give it all away. Just surrender, because something else is coming your way that is much better suited for you. It'll balance you out, but you've got pains, you've got aches, you've got worries that need to be laid to rest. Okay, so this energy is not the best, right? We don't necessarily love when this energy comes up, but it does represent certain cycles or something coming to a close, and not just closing as an ending, but having closure, having certain surrender in the moment of needing to have maybe more faith, needing to maybe have a stronger connection with yourself, with the unknown, knowing that the fret and the worry and the anxiety and the fear is just not going to suit you for very long. So having closure over those emotions, I believe, is really where you will find your scapegoat through this energy. But again, that can be very hard to do. So, I'm right there with you. I hope that this turns out for you guys. I see some good things coming, so let's get into that. The King of Water and Death card comes up. Okay, so signifying that some of you are in a toxic relationship, are in a narcissistic relationship. Someone's been just feeding you a lot of bullshit, taking your energy from you, and making you feel as though you are emotionally imbalanced, first of all. Okay, that's the nicest way to put it, but just simply out of your element, just not yourself. You might even be really drained. Once this energy comes to you, it is somewhat of a cardinal energy. You're going to be feeling empowered by this. You're going to really know your strengths. One of the best qualities of the King of Water is that he's very in touch with his emotions. He's very in touch with his intuition. He goes with the flow, but upholds a certain standard. When you are the King of Water, you don't just let any wave come crashing down on your kingdom. You have certain barriers in place, but it's not to neglect or to keep out the waves that come. It's to simply just not be berated by some of the chaos that can come with it. It's still this very, very wise acknowledgement that things need to happen. Certain times and places in our lives may feel like turmoil, but if we're the king, and if we're strong, and if we're confident within ourselves, then we shouldn't get swept away by these waves. The King of Water, it really symbolizes this lunar cycle that comes to you that may very well have an impact on you as a person. If you are involved with a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio sign, then they should be assisting you, right? There should be some kind of new energy associated with this kind of card. But with the Death card coming up, it makes me feel like some of you are really wanting to leave a relationship, or some of you may feel it's necessary. And you might really just need to be strong emotionally to get this done. With the King of Water, again, it's kind of like setting the standard of emotional quality, right? Setting the standard that you're not willing to lose everything you have, over a few waves that could easily come and go if you're a very strong, if you're a very confident, loving, open type of individual. With the Death card, I see that you see this coming to an end, and you have one of two options you can make. You're foreseeing this. I feel like you're accepting this with this kind of energy helping you. You're kind of just wanting to go with the flow. You're releasing a little bit of resistance, and you're needing to just take a stand, right, and see how things go. But it's kind of this expression, this admittance, this you guys need to admit certain things, right? Come out with it and speak your truth. Because thought is next, and it's upright, which is a good thing because you're really going to have power over your thoughts, and it's this very balanced perspective when this happens, right? It's very balanced, very strong, very worthy feeling, very insightful, because you're not just inside your head. With this Faith card, that means you are totally inside your head. You're not grounded. You are overthinking. You're overwhelmed. You don't have enough space, and you feel consumed by things. Towards the end of the month, your thoughts, your ideas, your words even, they're going to be much more in touch, relatable, expressive, and they hold a certain quality as well, right, that was otherwise lacking before. So your thoughts, the reoccurring thoughts, the way you think about things, the way you hold yourself even, it's going to be up for review. And the reason that I say up for review is because thought is the pattern that we all go through that we must refine over time. We must become more aware of the long-term things. That's why older people, right, people who have experienced a lot of years of life should very much be respected, because they have this awareness of the things that last, right? And you very rarely see an older person that's maybe struggling with a lot of chaos or anxiety within them, because they just don't lend themselves to those things after a few years of life. This Queen of Wands really speaks of this kind of quality or this kind of skill level that's going to be very useful for a long time to come because of this experience. So those of you who are weighing your options, you either have the experience to make a good decision that is very purposeful in many ways for you, reaching a lot of potentials for new optimism, new creation, confidence, security, and what you lack in experience, you're very well equipped to make up with enthusiasm. So it's a youthful card, but it also proves to be very mature in the ways of its implementation or action. It's purposeful in many ways. So you're being taught a very good lesson this month about your ideas, about your thoughts, about your intellect, and not only that, but the kind of reason or how your thoughts play a role in your emotions. Because your emotions, as much as you should be in your emotions, we do need our thoughts to balance out our emotions. When our heart says, go for it, I want this so bad, sometimes our mind says, it's not worth the risk, okay? So it's this balance that you're reaching that's really good. It's really healthy. and that's a big change. It seems like it's a quantum leap from where you start the month. So it's a really good thing for you, and it's gonna be great. The 9 of Air, okay, and the 2 of Cups, ending the month, okay, on a good note, on a good foot with another person. This person can be Aquarian. I'm getting a very Aquarius type of feeling with this, but it also could be any water sign because it is a Cups card, so Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces again. But what I'm seeing is that this is working in a harmonious way for you. The kind of way that you go about your thoughts, your ideas, your consciousness, your awareness, because you've, I think, been a little bit more grounded since the beginning of the month. Maybe you do ground yourself, maybe you do make some big decisions, move forward with someone else, or move forward in a different chapter with the same person. It's all going to feel new. It's all going to feel very harmonious. And there is a certain awareness that takes place with this card. Consciousness, unity. And with the 2 of Cups, it means that you guys are working together on something. You guys are working to build something greater than there was before. You're giving your emotions up, right? You're giving it's uplifting, it's up moving. And it's this foreseen potential that you guys really trust and rely upon. So this is a really good card to have home and family and your partnerships, but this intellectual energy really is coming to you to help expand. Some of you may be in the devil position, in the beginning of June, not foreseeing all of the opportunities you have, but man, is this air energy going to set you free. It's going to be expanding your mind and connecting you to much greater opportunities and avenues to take. All right, guys, I hope that this put some clarity into your lives, into the perspectives that you really need this month. Let me know if this resonates with you. If you'd like a personal reading, click down on the description box, and the link should be below. Follow me on social media. Instagram is Chandler the Light, and Twitter is ChandlerXteen. Again, I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you in July. Bye!